Not at all. It's already grown.
Yeah. So let's talk about that return on investment a little bit. I'm a believer that a good franchise business will mean that in your first franchise term, so anyone listening, you sign up for a franchise term, usually it's around about 5 years. That in that time, not only will you make enough profit for your family to live and survive and, hopefully have some extra good stuff as well, but you should also be making enough extra profit as well that you can pay back that initial franchise capital investment in the first term, which basically means if you sign on for a second term in your franchise, your business has already paid itself back. So in effect, you've almost got a
Mm.
free business. Do you, in your experience, find that that happens in Gutter-Vac? Are people, getting their initial capital back within that first term?
Yeah. Well, they use the acronym, well, initialism, ROI, so return on investment. Um, we in ours depend on what people buy. If they buy a greenfield, they can get an ROI within before the end of their second year. So that's a great return, which means they get 2.5 years of profit they can keep that they were using to pay back debt. For a transfer, usually 3 years, they get an ROI. And we find most franchise partners renew at 5 years, and then at 7 years they'll start to think about moving on.
Mm.
That's clever, and we've got a guy right now that's decided he wants to sell in 2028. So,
Okay.
see, that's really smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart, and he's 2.5 years. He's going to start now, so we'll set it up, and over the next 2.5 years, if somebody pops along that says I want to buy, he'll sell.
Mm.
But he's not going to wait, and say, well, look, I want to sell. I've decided I want to sell next week. Let's do it. And then at the end of next week, say, how come we haven't sold it? Come on. So planning, estate planning, like you do with your life, business planning is super important. I think, Tracy, we would agree that everybody that comes on, buys a business, the day they buy it, they should start to plan to sell it.
Yeah.
And, that if you're going to buy shares, you buy shares for asset, but you also buy them when they go up, you sell them. That's what it is. And business is no different. So I highly recommend people when they look at it. Sometimes you get a queer reaction to that where people sort of think you're trying to push them out. It's not the case at all. It's just good planning, and, people said to me, well, when are you going to sell it? I haven't thought about that yet. So
I don't
I'm
know what
probably
you'd do. What would you do? You love being involved and doing things like you. I don't know
yeah.
if you could particularly retire and sit around and do nothing, or you'd need a
Well,
great big shed to tinker in.
beginning of the year we sat down and decided I'll have Wednesdays off. Right, that's Anna's Fridays off, and I'll have Wednesdays off. And so where are we now? We're the 15th of May. I've had one Wednesday off so far, and I had that off because I had some jobs I wanted to do at home. So I did those jobs and came to work next day satisfied. I don't know, and that is the word retirement freaks me out a bit. I've my whole life I've always worked. I'd work during when I was a plumber. I'd do that, come home and renovate a house or build a house, and weekends do more about the house or be involved with the kids' sport. And that's the other magic. I've never missed a day's. I never missed a football match that Stuart played. I've never missed a dance at Stedford that Gillian played, even though it would have been nice to miss some of those. But she did a great job. And then speech and drama. Both Stuart and Gillian did speech and drama, and we went to every one of those. I don't know why, but we did. And but that was that. I mean, I always felt that was a privilege I had because I worked for myself. I could schedule when I didn't want to work. I wasn't lazy. I didn't do that, even though there was plenty of times I scheduled off to go and play golf, or go fishing, or go on holidays or something. But I could do it without affecting our revenue and our business. And never let a customer down.
Yeah.
So that's how we managed our life.
And that's something you've instilled into your franchisees as well, is that they're not there just to work all the time and just have a business. Like a lot of Gutter-Vac franchisees seem to have a very good lifestyle as well attached to it. Is that something that you see? Like,